Does anyone remember back in 2010, when 10 so-called Western missionaries from Boise, Idaho were arrested for trafficking 33 children from Haiti? The leader of this group was a woman who formerly went by Laura Silsby. Apparently she carried a pretty hefty background that was far from being Miss Innocent. When her and her Baptist missionaries were arrested in the Dominican Republic, of course, Hillary and Bill were the first to fly to the scene and immediately intervene and de-escalate the fire started by Haitian government through political bribery and offerings. They also hired a lawyer to represent Ms. Silsby and the 10 other missionaries. All 9 missionaries were released without being charged. However, the leader Ms. Silsby didn't get off the hook so easily, but it wasn't long until her attorney and the Clintons, through their political stance, basically convinced them to drop her charges from conspiracy, trafficking, and child abduction to merely arranging irregular travel without the term child even relevant to the charge. According to the Harvard Human Rights Journal Vol. 25, Silsby's lawyer, Jorge Puello, was suspected, prior to representing Silsby, of leading a human trafficking ring involving women and minors. Puello was arrested in an investigation led by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and Homeland Security investigations, in connection with the ring. He was wanted in the United States, El Salvador, and Costa Rica for his involvement with the network trafficking Central Americans and Haitians. At the time of his arrest, Puello's wife was already imprisoned in El Salvador and faced charges of presumed sexual exploitation of minors and women. Puello was ultimately sentenced to 3 years in federal prison for alien smuggling, another surprisingly light sentence, given the original charges he was sought for. It is not known at this time whether or not Laura Silsby was associated with Puello's criminal enterprise. However, what is known is the Clintons provided Silsby's lawyer, as she was incarcerated and unable to do so herself. Now we fast forward to late 2016, where more research was conducted by journalists. These journalists have discovered that Laura Silsby, from Boise, Idaho, had remarried and changed her name to Laura Gaylor. Not only that, aside from her charges from the Dominican Republic, she gained the title of Vice President of Marketing at Connexus Alert Sense. This organization contracts with the U.S. federal government and local law enforcement to send out emergency Amber Alert communications nationwide. So I ask you to use your imagination, if you will, and you be your own judge. Do you believe Silsby Gaylor was really an innocent victim who was honestly not aware of what she was doing when she was caught trafficking those 33 children? Not only children, but children who were displaced from their parents from that devastating tsunami on January 12, 2010. More than 200,000 Haitians lost their lives. Fast forward to October 3, 2018. Do you remember when Trump sent out an emergency broadcast alert over our cell phones and the mainstream media stated it was a test? Hopefully the tools, information, and resources I've provided to you gives you a clearer idea of exactly what was really happening behind the scenes. I think it speaks for itself, don't you? Now ask yourselves, in what ways could this have any impact on the border wall Trump has been fighting so hard for? It doesn't take much to actually figure that out.